So no matter what happens,
It's shit show.
it's a shit show for 4 years.
Leave your playing by the rules at the door. It's time for Carl and Mike.
Welcome to Carl and Mike. I'm Carl,
And I'm Mike.
and we are trudging through.
We are slogging through the shit.
We're witnessing the takeover of the United States.
I don't know what we're witnessing. We'll find out real shortly.
We have the FBI in turmoil. Politics have infected.
Yet another institution now that nobody trusts.
Thank you, Comey, for taking away all credibility. It staggers my mind that he made an announcement without having seen anything yet.
There's stuff going on in the background that we will never know about.
What is going on? So there's different theories. Is he feeling so much pressure for not arresting or not indicting Clinton that he did something to appease, to take the pressure off of himself?
You know, this is the Friday before the Tuesday election, so it could be at the end of the day, because things always happen at the end of the day on Friday, that he's going to come out and
That's
go,
true.
hey, nothing to see here, move on, folks. Has it affected the election? You know, you bet your ass it has.
Yeah, people
More
trying to
so
say-
than any other thing that has affected the election. And, you know, there's other stuff that is supposed to have come out. You know, there's you heard about the 13-year-old that's supposed to have a news conference that says she was raped by the Donald at one of these parties in New York that was done by this Epstein guy. You've heard about
Right.
that?
Isn't
Okay.
isn't his case coming up December 16th? His rape case thing.
Oh, well, that's too late.
Yeah, he does have a rape case, but
No.
it's what? Is this person's coming forward to speak?
Yeah, she was supposed to come forward, but she decided not to because she was getting death threats. I was telling somebody else, they were saying that, you know, who do you vote for? And I said, well, you're walking up to the table and you got two piles of shit.
Right.
And you sniff each one of them and you figure out which one.
I think that's a false equivalency. I think Trump is mentally unfit.
Oh, no,
temperamentally
I agree
I
with
think
that.
Clinton is not a great candidate. Clinton has all sorts of flaws, but Clinton's not going to endanger our very existence the way Trump could.
And I'm not saying that it's an equivalency. I'm saying both of them are not great candidates.
Oh, that's for sure. That's for sure.
And
You know, you could argue, why would the Democrats nominate someone who could be indicted?
because it was her turn. The same reason that
and that's a really
Republicans
fucking
tried to
stupid-
do Jeb Bush, because it was his turn.
Yeah, and to, you know, from the Donna Brazil giving answers to the woman running the DNC,
Yeah.
I forget her
Yeah.
name now.
Debbie
that-
Wasserman.
Debbie Wasserman.
Yeah.
That
But see, here's
set it
here's
up
the-
so Hillary
here-
was going to win on
and,
that.
and here's the thing about that. We can see all the emails and what was going on back behind the thing on the DNC. I don't believe for a second that there's not a second set of emails that were going on in the RNC. Imagine if we had all that. We don't have that.
No.
If we could see that set
I
of
think
emails
yes.
and the
If
RNC set of
WikiLeaks was
emails,
doing the
then you
DNC.
get a real good picture of what's going on. And
Right.
and you know what? That's even worse, because what you see is that it's going on both sides.
Right.
And the emails that he sends back and forth having to do with his business dealings, I can't even imagine what that is. And the only thing I can think of is the reason it hadn't come out is that he's got everybody scared shitless about being sued. Because that's
Trump.
what he is. Yes, he's
Yeah,
sued
but
happy.
some, quote, Russian entity could break into Trump's server and put him out. I don't think Russia I think Russia wants Trump to be president.
Trump
because-
does, but
because
there's
Trump
other
could be
hackers
easily
on the face of the planet
Yes.
that don't. And
And they're worried about being sued?
Look, I don't know what they're worried about, but there's a whole set of stuff that's not available to us. And it's not available to us because the people that can make it available are not.
To me, this Comey thing is just so unbelievable to put that out 11 days
Yeah.
before an election when you,
Yeah.
if you're going to, the only thing you can do 11 days before the election is indict her. So either you indict or you shut the
Yeah.
fuck up.
Well, you know, if he gets elected on Tuesday, the market's going to tank.
Yeah, you're going to
That'll be the first thing.
Yes.
And it's not just going to be the U.S. market; it's going to be the world markets.
Yeah.
Are going to tank. Okay, now if
my
she
wife
gets
Suzanne was
elected,
in
if
Europe
she gets
this year.
elected, what the Republicans are going to do is rally around the same old people, and they'll
Right.
start talking about what they're going
Well, we're
to
going to
do
talk
to
about
keep
an
her.
illegitimate presidency and impeachment
Exactly,
hearings
who
and all of
impeach
this kind of
and
stuff. And we're gonna,
they're going to line up all the committees and start going after her. And that's just the way it's going to be for 4 years. So no matter what happens,
It's shit show.
It's a shit show for 4 years because neither one of them will run for a second term because they're going to be too old.
They're pretty beatable. Well, it depends
Yeah,
who runs
I think
against
so.
them.
I think so. I think
Ted Cruz
everybody's
gonna beat
tired.
Trump?
Huh?
Ted Cruz going to beat Trump in 4 years from now?
He's going to lose interest in that job way before 4 years. He doesn't have the attention span.
No, he's
to last
definitely
4 years.
there's
And
definitely-
she's-
he's going to give the question. Really, people should ask of him because he's already said, if I won, I want you guys to handle the domestic, and
Yeah, I'm going to.
he's not going to do any of that shit.
No, I'm
He's
going to
just
wave my
gonna-
arms and make speeches and shit like that.
Right.
Yeah. So he's going to hand it over to, we don't know who.
We don't know who, really.
we
If
really
Trump
don't.
wins, we don't really know who runs the country. Right? I'm going to think someone in the Breitbart arm of things. You know, the other thing about this election, which we haven't talked nearly enough about, is it really is a revolt of the Republican Party. It really is the Christian conservatives and the rednecks, the deplorables, which are all your base hate groups, alt-right bullshit.
Those are the deplorables.
and
It's
the-
not the
yeah.
unemployed auto worker
No.
in Michigan or
Now, the
Ohio.
deplorables are, if you belong to a hate group,
Yeah.
you're a deplorable.
Yes.
Okay? If you, you know,
And she missed an opportunity to make that distinction. She
She
just
did.
apologized for this statement.
yeah.
And she said,
just
I
said, no, if you
apologize
belong
that
to
I
a
said
hate group, I don't want your
50%.
vote, you're a deplorable.
Yeah, yeah.
That's what he
I don't
would've
want,
said.
yeah. But nobody says, I don't want your vote if you're
Right.
one of these kind of people. Nobody says
But the
that.
third group is Reagan Democrats. And that is the unemployed steelworker in Michigan or Ohio, you know, that tended to be in the Democratic camp. Because his anti-trade policy is totally, so what's been cut out of here is the two other parts of the Republican Party. I call them the defense Republicans, you know, the Hawks, the military Republicans.
Yeah. The neocons.
Neocons, and the Republicans for the corporate interests. Those are the two that have been cut out. He's created a new coalition of Reagan Democrats, deplorables, and social conservatives.
I don't think the corporate leaders care who's in the White House. They'll work and they'll put money through lobbyists to get to whoever. I don't. The
So
party
you don't think
affiliation.
Trump, as president, will fight for job staying in the United States or all that kind of shit?
Trump.
Or is that just bullshit?
No, Trump is going to fight for Trump. But all he needs is one or two wins for everybody to sit back and go, see, he's doing what he says. So let's say he
So what's
is
his
able
wins?
to. Well, I don't know.
Ain't
Let's-
gonna be the wall.
Well, it's not going to. Well, I don't know. I don't know what that's going to be.
You're saying
But
he'll
let's
have
say
a win.
if he builds a wall and then sends Mexico a bill,
Right.
and then they don't pay, and he says, he goes, oh, they're deadbeats. And
Well,
Mexico goes,
so-
hey,
no,
we're
he's
just
gonna-
doing what he does. And no, but what he does is he gets the wall up. The real purpose of the wall
No, he's going
is
to tell
not-
Mexico that basically you don't pay for the wall. I'm tariffing anything that comes out of Mexico at 50%.
Or what you say is, we're not going to let people send money home anymore. We cut that out.
there's
Do
gonna be
something
some-
like that.
some-
Yeah, okay. So anyway, whatever it is,
Yeah.
so there's a threat.
He has a win of some sort. That'll be
He
enough
has
to
a win.
placate
Or
everybody.
if some corporation comes back and he's able to all of a sudden make his shirts in South Carolina instead of China, that's a win. They're going to see that as a win. That's all he needs. He has set expectations real high, but I think he can meet those with really low
Delivery.
results. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
He can quiet those people with low results. He goes, well, I know I haven't got your
Oh,
jobs
wow.
back, but I did these people over in Ohio. And
Yeah,
the
but
people
there's
in
going to be
Ohio
reality's
goes,
going to
"Hey,
step in. There's going
Huh?
to be if the economy collapses, the markets collapse, with him being one.
I think they will.
And they start losing jobs, 100,000 a month instead of gaining jobs. I think the luster comes off of him fairly quickly. Where are my jobs back? You said you're going to get my jobs back. We've had a million jobs lost.
Maybe, I don't know. But then they would have to admit that they were wrong, terribly wrong. And I think people,
Well, they're
a
never
lot of
gonna
people are
admit
not going to. No, that's what I'm saying. They're not going to. They're going to get sullen and quiet and sit back and brood.
What's most nervous to me is what's happened with the FBI here, because
Yeah.
you've taken an institution now and it's been politicized to the point where it's lost its credibility. That's a very bad place. If politics,
Same thing happened in the Supreme Court.
yeah, Republicans now talk about not
Yeah.
not letting any
Yeah.
Hillary appointee go.
Yeah.
They're gonna go down to 5, 4.
Oh, the only people that can appoint are Republican president.
Yeah. I mean, what is that?
That's
That-
the way. That's the way.
That's this new kind of brazen. And you know what? So the left is the left going to adapt that because it's kind of this brazen. We don't care. We don't care anymore about how it looks. We're only going to appeal to our base, and we're off the pretense
Yeah.
of fairness.
If he's able to get elected by just appealing to this narrow base, we've got huge, huge problems. Huge. Bigly.
I agree. And
Is bigly really a word? You're a wordsmith. Bigly.
it is now.
It is now.
I make it official. Bigly exists.
Yeah. And I like the spelling of huge, Y-U-G.
You
That
do
I
that?
like. I think
Well, there
that's
have been
awesome.
some positives that come
Yeah.
out word-wise.
Oh, yeah.
Trumpisms, if you will.
There you go.
Hold on tight. It's almost over, Mike. Days away from the end of our lives as we know it, or 4 more years of crazy
Shitstorm.
right-wing talk
Shitstorm.
about Hillary.
Yeah. Either way, it'll be.
Horrible.
Yeah. There is no winning side on this.
And with that, America,
Nighty night.
make sure to vote. Peace.
Out.